Hello guys, welcome to Rich Living Mastery YouTube channel where we create content to help you optimize three areas of your life: health, wealth, and relationships. This is Abhishek, founder and CEO of richlivingmastery.com. Today on the show, we have an amazing guest, a man that I've known for a while. We talk a lot, and then one of the things is that whenever I speak to him, every time I get up speaking, every time I finish speaking to him, I get some sort of value, very interesting insights a lot of times. He is Mr. Michael Beale. He is one of the UK's foremost NLP practitioners and trainers. He has 30 plus years working with businesses, working with major UK and international companies. He is the founder and CEO of Business NLP Limited. And to name some of his biggest clients, they are Oracle, BT, and Expedia. Welcome to the show, Mr. Michael. Thank you for spending your time with us.
Great, glad to be here.
So, Mr. Michael, one of the interesting aspects of self improvement or helping people succeed are questions. People underestimate how powerful these questions are. So, what would your view be about the importance of questions on the path to success?
My view is that questions are hugely important on the route to success because questions set a direction. Okay, and a direction is so important. There are two sets of questions I'm going to recommend to our listeners to think about because they've made such a difference to my clients, and it's come from an idea from Marshall Goldsmith, although there are many variations of it, and it's really early morning questions and evening questions. Now, the purpose of all early morning questions is to set some goals or direction for the day before the panics of life has taken us over. Because if we choose, say every morning I say, I want to do these three things in the day, okay, and I do it while my brain is calm, then if there's a panic, I can make a choice to leave them and do something else, but it's a conscious decision. If I let myself get into the day, I'll be taken over by panics and all sorts of other things, and I'll never make a rational decision of what I want to do with the day. So I strongly advise that we start the day by asking, what are the three things I want to accomplish today, and writing them down. We may change our mind later, but at least we've started with three things that are relevant to what we want to achieve in life. The second point that I recommend people to do is a quick review at the day at the end of the day. Now, interesting enough, towards the end of the day, especially if we do it before we go to sleep, we're actually tuning into all sorts of interesting unconscious processes because we can start think about it overnight. But the structure of the end of the day questions is, have I done my best to? So say, for example, what's important in my life is looking after my relationships, developing business, and all sorts of things. So I simply say 3 or 4 or 5 questions. Have I done my best to develop my business today? Have I done my best to maintain the very best possible relationships with my family? Have I done my best to move towards my life purpose? I'm just choosing 3 as an example. Because what happens is, by asking my questions, I do a check-in. Have I actually spent my time and energy during the day doing the things that are important to me? Okay. Now, this is very important. It's like a rudder on a boat. How we use the rudder on the boat will make a huge difference to where we get to over a period of time. Now, to do these sorts of questions requires a bit of courage, because most people, when they do them, at the end of the day, they said, say, for example, have I done my best today to reach my life purpose? The real answer is no, they haven't. because what's happened during the day has taken them off course. But what actually happens is, if they start asking this after the first day or the first week, they will start realizing that they ought to be spending their time and energy during the day to do the things that are really important to them. And if they stick with the process, After a period of time, just like turning the tanker, they'll find that they begin to start achieving those things that they want to do. Whereas if they don't answer the questions, and if they don't go through that slightly difficult period of realizing that what they're spending their time on isn't what they really want to spend their time on, they'll continue going round in circles. But if they start doing this, it requires a certain amount of courage and it requires a certain amount of discipline to do it. They will begin to find that every day they're working towards what they want to achieve. And after a period of time, it will make a huge difference to what they end up to. So I want to suggest to people that it can take 5 minutes at the beginning of the day, it can take 10 minutes at the end of the day. It does require discipline, it does require some courage to do it. But once you get into the habit of it, it will make a lot of difference to where you end up in your life.
Okay, so are there some rules and regulations sort of thing, or is there something that people should keep in mind while forming these questions? How do they structure these questions?
Right. The morning is very simple. What are the 3 things you'd like to achieve today? So
Okay.
don't make it complicated. You don't want to spend too much time on it. It's a check-in. It's a check-in for 3 minutes to write down, ideally this day I'd like to achieve A, B, C. And also don't make it too big. Just to make sure that you've got some structure and some direction for the day that you have decided before, say, the whirlwinds hit you. That's fairly straightforward. The structure for the end of the day is very simple. You have to work out what's important for you. So what are the things you want to accomplish in a day? And the structure is, have I done my best to? The structure is, have I done my best to? It is an input measure. It is a measure on, have I used my time effectively? Have I done my work? It isn't a measure of outcomes, if I can make the difference. Because often outcomes it's important to measure outcomes, but most outcomes aren't directly under my control. The one thing that is under my control is how I use my time and energy. So what's important is that I spend at least 5-10 minutes a day checking up that I'm using my most biggest resources in life for things that are useful to them. So the structure is, have I done my best to? And also not to be disappointed if I get a low score. It's just information so I can keep track of, am I using my time and energy?
That's interesting. Okay. So this was really useful information, which I really wanted people to hear. People usually miss out on these things. They underestimate. They think that this is not really as powerful as they think. But then these are one of those things. Once they start doing, it'll actually give them a lot of results. It actually, like, I think that this is something that would exceed their expectations of what results they could get.
Over time, it will definitely over time. If people can establish it as a good habit, it will dramatically help them achieve what they want, because it will get us all to use our time and energy more effectively. It means that we're in control of what we do with our time and energy, not everybody else.
Thank you for your time, Mr. Michael. That was really valuable lessons what you're giving people here. So last video you gave an advice to people as a conclusion to, model someone or ask someone who are close to you successful to tell you how to become successful or something like that. So in this video, if you were to give the people who are watching this some advice, something to help them out, what would it be? Any advice from your life experience, whatever.
I'm going to keep to something very similar. I'm going to keep to something very similar. Keep on asking people questions of how we could do better. Okay, we don't have to do it, but keep on asking people questions for how we can do better, and always thank them for their response. Because although we may not do what they say now, because it may not be appropriate for us at this point of time, there may be a time it will be. So keep on asking people how we can improve, listen to what they say, Appreciate we may not do it now, but always hold their thoughts, because there may become a time it's really useful to us.
Thanks a lot for your time, Mr. Michael. So also guys, thank you for watching. If you think you learned something from this video, do leave a like, subscribe for more content like this. Also share this video with someone who you think might want to watch it or might need it. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you, Mr. Michael.
Thank you.